All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless Dave here on another slow day in the world of classic rock, talking about classic rock or the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and how the voting is going thus far. Uh, Doing what I do in real time for a few people just like you and just like me. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications on new videos. Don't forget about YouTube memberships. You get early watching privileges. PJ Rock Super Chats, good way to tip the host here. Also, buy me a coffee, which has been great. So I appreciate all the coffee buyers out there. So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the voting has apparently yielded some eye-opening results, according to this gatekeeping publication, which I don't know, is again on the forefront of classic rock, even though they do apologetics for things that aren't really either relevant to the Hall of Fame. In fact, they tend to do these 5 reasons why so and so should be in the Hall of Fame. Like when the nominations come out, rather than make a definitive statement and just say, no, this shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. All right. Shouldn't be in the Hall. But they, these are all go along to get along. Let's have access to everybody. Let's be really nice to everybody. By the way, I watched another channel and a guy who I respect who's been doing this for quite some time. He occupies kind of a more prog rock sort of place, and he likes to talk about that kind of stuff, and he's really smart. He was more brutal than I was. He didn't give a lot of the reasoning, but he was just like, who? No, don't really know who this is. Sorry. And just moved on. And people, you know what people do with me? They go, you should do more research before you do a video and find out about this person because they had quite a career for like 3 months. Okay, whatever. So Phil Collins right now is the vote leader. All right. And by the way, I don't trust this fan voting thing. Who's to say you can't just keep voting? I mean, there's got to be a way to subjugate the voting, you know? I mean, we all know they can't, we can't even get an accurate vote in a political election. We can't get accurate votes in the presidential election. Oh, there you go again with all your crazy conspiracy theories. All the courts threw it out, man. Phil Collins is in the lead. Good for Phil. All right. And they say that's eye popping. I don't know. That's part of the eye popping part of it. Maybe it's the least eye popping. You know what eye popping? His eyes are just popping out of your head. But now this sentence shows you the disconnect. Listen to this, all right? But anybody that is unhappy with the way the Rock Hall has reached out beyond the rock genre to nominate hip hop, pop, and R&B artists in recent years might not like where the popular vote goes from there. Okay, so why would anyone be unhappy that the Rock Hall isn't putting rock in the Rock Hall? This is just, and anyone who is, say, I don't know, under 40 years old and listening to this and saying, well, you need to be more open-minded. Okay, it's called the Rock Hall. It's not called the Jazz Hall. It's not called the R&B Hall. Okay, it's the Rock Hall. So you go to a pizza joint, right? And what's on the menu? Mostly pizza. Maybe some buffalo wings, but mostly pizza, right? Or stuff that goes with pizza. So you'd expect, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it says rock and roll on the sign. I'm confused. So anyway, my confusion could be senility at this stage. I just could be getting really old and, I don't get it. But here's where the votes go from there. New Edition is in second place. New Edition? Well, I had one guy say, they're super, yeah, they're talented. And they spawned all these other things. Quite honestly, if you look at it from an output perspective, guess what? New Edition does not have enough output. Full stop. Not a sustained amount of output. Okay? You could say they're influential. Okay, you can make some associations with these other things that developed after that. It's the wrong genre. Okay, so you've got a couple of things working against New Edition, but they're in second place with the voting. And they're not far behind Phil Collins. Phil Collins with 230,000, New Edition with 190,000. Pink is in third place, folks. Get this party started. Pop singer Pink is in third place. So my theory that the Hall of Fame and the gatekeepers like this publication, the theory is they're trying to draw in the current pop culture into something that is classic, is older, okay? They're trying to subjugate, update, I don't know, make it completely different from what it actually is. So Pink is in third place. Luther Vandross is in fourth place. I think Luther, probably one of the greatest R&B singers of all time. So, I would compare him. He's a more recent Harold Melvin, okay, and the Blue Notes kind of thing. Luther Vandross. I mean, Marvin Gaye. Is Marvin Gaye in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I'm sure he is, right? He's got to be. So if you're going to put Marvin Gaye in, you can put Luther Vandross in there, but you got to put a lot of other things in there that you're not even nominating. All right, Luther has 169,000 votes. Billy Idol, 152,000. Good for fifth place. And then Sade, In Excess, Mariah Carey, Wu-Tang. All right, and people are making the same argument about Mariah Carey, like her impact and just okay. I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on Mariah Carey. I just no. I'm just gonna say no. Okay, stop it. Wu-Tang Clan and Lauryn Hill are rounding up the top 10. How much you want to bet that Lauryn Hill and Wu-Tang Clan get in there? By the way, Iron Maiden is currently in last place in the voting. Aren't there fans like Legion? So Iron Maiden fans, what are you doing? Start voting. Although I guess Bruce Dickinson has told the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame where they can stick their nomination. I get it. I'd be mad too if I were Bruce Dickinson. As I've said in other videos, Iron Maiden did not need this industry in order to be a success. They did not need the rock media. They did not need radio support. They didn't need anything. You know what they needed? Their fans, and their fans love them. Of all the bands nominated, I would put them at the top, believe it or not. Phil Collins close, but if you're looking at, rock music here, Iron Maiden fits the bill better than anyone else. Again, you've also got the Black Crowes and Oasis doing horribly. Shakira, I guess, is last in the fan voting. But again, none of this makes sense. So if you're a conspiracy theorist, right, you're thinking, well, we got to put New Edition in because they check all of these boxes and we need more of what New Edition is. No, you don't. You need to go back and put in stuff that isn't in. You need to nominate better. These nominations are horrible. Says last year, Fish, the band, a lot of people were disappointed that they didn't get in, finished first in the fan voting, and they didn't get in. Billy Idol, third in the fan vote, and neither was inducted. So the gatekeepers, man, I think Phil Collins has to go in. And I've said the reason they're putting him in is because he may not be here for much longer. Okay, and they have a picture of the leaderboard. Maybe I'll make this part of the thumbnail. By the way, Jeff Buckley is in very last place, and others who do videos were kind of like, who's Jeff Buckley? I had to look it up, and I didn't know who he was. I know who New Order is, and some people were making fun of me because I said, well, if we're going to go back to my college radio days, you got to put in like Echo and the Bunnymen and Lloyd Cole and the Commotions and I don't know, the stuff I used to listen to in college, the Hoodoo Gurus. Why aren't they in? Terrific band, right? Well, Dave, New Order and Joy Division, they represent something very special. Hmm. They sure do. All the EDM stuff, all the stuff that we're hearing now, heavily influenced by New Order. Why not put Erasure in? If you're going to put New Order in, Erasure, you know who they are? They're pretty good. Human League, are they in? Human League from the 80s? Super good band, right? Least people know who they are. They've heard some of their songs on the radio, right? A lot of people have never listened to New Order. I don't know, folks. The whole thing is a train wreck. Oasis is an actual rock band. They're not doing well. Oh, Melissa Etheridge. I'm surprised. I'm thinking Melissa is going to go in. Regardless of where she finishes in the fan voting, she checks every box, especially the political ones and the lifestyle choice ones. And she's going in. She's a lady, right? She's going in. We'll see what happens with Phil Collins. Not only is he winning the fan vote, but he's the best next to Iron Maiden. He's the best choice of all of this. But these choices really aren't very good. That's the punchline to all of this. And these gatekeepers who run these websites, rather than call out this industry because they want access and they want to be able to talk to certain people and they don't want to lose their clout or their relevance, they're going along with this stuff. They should have somebody writing an editorial saying, we really need something to honor all of this stuff that's not in. Neil Sedaka, who just passed away, not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Just ridiculous. Ridiculous with a capital R. We can go down a list of things. The Guess Who. Randy on tour right now with Burton. Back out there. Hey, we're over here, guys. We're going on the rock and roll cruise. We're over here. We're going to play a bunch of gigs. See us here. I know we're from Canada. I think there's a little bit of a Canadian bias thing going on, but maybe not. Maybe it's just, a couple of white guys that just, they don't check any box, even though both of them are legendary and great songwriters and great musicians, but they're not on this list. They're not on the nomination list. And yes, people are going to yell about Jethro Tull in Kansas, and I yell every year about Steppenwolf. It's incomprehensible. Found out the Trogs aren't in the Hall of Fame. I'm just like, what? One of the great riffs that influenced, rippled through the rock and roll world for generations and still rippling. But whatever, man. Whatever floats your boat. Wu-Tang Clan all the way. Woo, yeah. Pink. Pink's probably going to go in. This is just so pathetic. All right. So I'm done, and I appreciate people watching and putting up with me. Again, if you want to help this channel, there's Patreon, YouTube memberships, Buy Me a Coffee, PJ Rock Super Chats. You don't have to do any of that stuff. If you at least subscribe to the channel, that would be helpful, as I have a much larger platform that's kind of just sitting out there, and I am able to upload audio to it, which is bizarre because of an app that I signed up for. I guess I shouldn't be able to upload to it, but I still can, and who knows, maybe I'll upload this one to it. Thanks for watching and listening. God bless everyone, and I will see you soon.